Welcome to This Week in Business. We've got Anthony and Kingsley here today, our first one with all of us here this year. So guys, how are you today?
Spectacular.
Oh, I love your adjectives today. Who would like to go first with their business update?
Oh, look, I'm going to jump in early, mainly because I've been kind of on and off like a Christmas light for the last couple of weeks with here and not here. So it may seem a little late with some predictions for 2021, but some of them are coming true, which is a great way to make a prediction after it's already happened. So picked out 6 key trends that I think are going to really affect the way that local businesses market over the next 12 months. Some of these are extrapolations of things that have been happening for a long time, but the way that the technologies that we use every day are working are really changing these things. So the biggest one, and I think this is going to apply to all of us, is humanisation. We're going to start to see not just big brands, but small brands and small businesses moving away from the generic marketing guff which we see out every day towards a much more personalised channel. And not everyone has to do this, but tied into the next trend, which I really want to highlight, is the fact that the algorithms, particularly from both Google and Facebook, are going to be working much harder to filter out generic crap from our channels. We are absolutely oversaturated with the opportunities to see stuff, and those algorithms are going to be filtering out the filler type content, which a lot of us see in our feeds, so that you will start to see, a 0 clicks, 0 reach, 0 engagement on some of those things. And well, actually, I say 0, but it never is. We always know that somebody, probably our mum, is going to be the one that likes the content that we put up that nobody else really cares about. So that's probably the big one, is humanisation and the death to marketing guff, which we'll see rolling out through the year. It's already happening pretty extensively with updates within particularly the Facebook and Instagram algorithms. We will see some really solid returns for businesses who are putting effort into creating authentic, useful, meaningful and valuable content that's well thought out. We're seeing a lot more quality and deep searches being done by people, driven largely by things like Siri, the Google Assistant, and people's frustration with getting a junk search result up front. Typically, it used to be we worried about keywords with very short search terms. Have a look at your own behaviour, but we tend to be searching for much longer, more detailed, perhaps even more human type questions. And the search algorithms from Google are serving up those answers, which tend to be the more well thought out, researched, extensive content. Search will become more local. In fact, all businesses is heading towards more local. Has anyone else seen the Coke sign up as you drive into Bunbury at the moment? There's a Coke sign as you drive in on the big display boards, which says Coke is Bunbury. And I thought this is evidence that we're moving towards a much more localised marketing world when a multinational brand like Coke wants to tie its identity to our own little community. There's a picture of a bloke snorkeling, and well, actually not. There's an outline of a person snorkeling and a dolphin there communicating that Coke actually knows where Bunbury is on the map, and they've probably.
Does the dolphin have a bottle of Coke?
Well, no Coke for the dolphin. Pay to play, another huge thing that's been happening for many years now, but it's almost here on Google My Business, with premium versions of Google My Business here for local businesses, offering advanced reach, more presence, but also displaying the search results. And Facebook, as you'd probably be aware, unless you're paying for your content to get out there, it's almost not worth posting it these days. And the big one, which I think we all learnt last year, and I'm looking forward to Kingsley's response to this, is the death of the long-term business plan. I think the requirement there to work on a more tactical and agile basis with really a set of values and objectives you want to work with in a changing environment, to looking perhaps as far out as 3 to 12 months at an absolute stretch, is something that we're seeing a lot more in the marketing operations. Because as we've learnt last year with the white swan event we had, you can't always know what's coming around the corner. In fact, you can never know what's coming around the corner, but you can know that you've got to be agile enough to respond to it within a set of objectives. So that's my big 6 for 2021. Given we're a month into it, I'm proud to say that all 6 look like they're happening already.
I've seen that Facebook Zero reach already on a couple of pages that I look after. But in terms of the algorithms changes that you were talking about, I have seen a notice that LinkedIn is rolling a very big algorithm change out in there as well. So if you do use LinkedIn, keep an eye out for that. It is changing. They're also getting rid of that, useless information. And they are going to be, if it's duplicated information, so say you've posted something previously, say you write a blog and you share a blog or you share something, they're actually not going to show that to people. So be really careful about what you're doing in LinkedIn because they are changing it. So if that is one of your marketing strategies, get up to date with those algorithm changes as well.
There are a lot of the platforms like Buffer in the past which would encourage people to post things 5 times on Twitter so that people saw it. And I think that it's not great for the user experience, it's not great for the business, and it's certainly something the algorithms across the board on all the platforms want to get rid of. Guff.
Perfect. Have you got anything else today, Anthony? Well, that was it.
That's it. That's me done.
All right, Kingsley, what have you got for us today?
I just want to say, first of all, the reason Anthony wanted to go first is just so he could say that line about going on and off like a Christmas light.
It's true. It's true.
I'm going to do a bit of scaremongering. The tax office have once again announced that they are going to do their data match program where they're going to each state and territory's car licensing database and getting out the data about who bought a new car and putting that data against what you said you earned in your tax return. So if you bought a $80,000 car and lost your tax return saying you made $20,000, face value, they're going to say someone who makes $20,000 can't afford an $80,000 car. So we're going to go and have a look at them. It's not conclusive by any stretch, obviously. It's just a highly indicative thing to them that perhaps you're understating your income. And I think what a lot of people don't realise with the tax office is that they do have the ability to just sort of say, well, looking at your lifestyle, your income appears to, you said you earned 20, but to have your lifestyle, you needed 200,000. They can amend your tax return to the 200,000 and then say, we want to heap a tax off you and penalties. And it's up to you to prove them wrong. You're not innocent until proven guilty. It's the other way around with tax law. So that will be rolling out over the next couple of years, in actual fact. I don't think they've actually done the matching yet on vehicles that have been bought in the 2020 financial year, but that'll be coming soon. And generally, their wheels do turn relatively slowly. So if you bought a car in the 20 financial year and also lodged a 20 tax return, so you had a very low income, the letter probably won't come until next year, in fact. So, of course, that means that you don't think you got away with it because you haven't got the letter by the end of June or something. It could still be coming. And it could be, if you finance the vehicle or something like that, it's probably a good defence because theoretically, the equipment finance company wouldn't have lent you the money if you couldn't afford to pay it back. And they've factored in other things. It might be your income's low, but your spouse's is high or something, and there is, lots of profits in your company, but you just paid yourself a little wage or something. There could be quite legitimate reasons for it, but it also, just in a broad sense, I guess, just shows that that sort of avoidancy type attitude falls down if you're going to have a lavish lifestyle. So it's, every now and then you do see someone that sort of, might not be around a car, it might be around a completely different sort of issue that sort of you think you're very, very clever that you got your tax down artificially low, but you're going to need to live a sort of hippie-like lifestyle not to draw the attention in the final analysis. So that's coming. I don't know how many they'll scoop up, but you could expect the letter.
So on that, we do a tax planning workshop towards June, so a bit later in this financial year. Keep an eye out for that if you do want to get on board with finding out how to do tax planning and not just creative accounting, by the sounds of what Kingsley's talking about.
So what I'm going to need to do, Kingsley, is just keep it in a storage unit like Walter White for the next couple of years, correct?
That's right, mate. Yeah. Bitcoin.
No. Don't talk about Bitcoin.
Have you got anything else for us, Kingsley, today?
No, that's the end of my scaremongering.
Well, thanks for that. I'm glad Anthony started with something so positive and you've gone the complete opposite today.
Yeah.
I've got a couple of little things. The first one is Jetstar has announced last week that the Busselton to Melbourne flights have now been further delayed until June. So if you were waiting for those, they're not coming anytime soon. They are saying June at the moment, but there is no guarantee on anything. The other thing is I shared a post yesterday, a great article on when to share on social media. It actually had a lot of different social media platforms in there. It had Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Pinterest, Twitter. So there is a lot of things out there about when and what times to be posting. So if you're not sure, check it out. It also talked about how many times to post. Lots of it said don't post more than once a day. So if you are posting more than once a day, just be careful of that, because it can come up that you're a bit spammy on Facebook in their algorithm, which means you get a lower reach for things. And the other one I wanted to talk about is our business showcase interviews that we have launched. I've actually done our first one this week and I have another one later today. I am hearing some wonderful stories come through these business showcase interviews. So if you would like to have your business showcased, talk to us about how you got started and what you're doing in business, drop us an email, connect@bswconnect.com.au. I would love to have a chat with you, and it is a great opportunity to have your business profiled and put onto our YouTube channel and sent out to our email subscription list, which has about 3,000 people on there, and it is growing daily at the moment. So it's a good way to get your business out there, and it's free. We won't charge you for it. It's free.
And it comes back to that authenticity of content. If you've got things that are worthwhile and real to say, do it. That reaches people who care.
Yes. So that was me. We've got networking tomorrow night in Bunbury. I'm excited. Are you guys coming?
Yeah.
Wonderful. Well, we hope to see some faces from the group at that event. And that's all we have today. Thanks so much, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks, Louise.
No worries. And we'll talk to you again next week.
See you soon.